Chilli broke ass sending money to Trump. Weren't you and the girls just complaining that y'all don't get paid off of y'all album sales? Then you finally get the check and you want to give it all to Trump. Then you wasn't even sending nothing good. $2 here, $5 there. I saw one of the transactions said $1.63. What was you trying to buy him, a bag of Cheetos? Get him his next box of diapers? What, you on the payment plan for support for Trump? Your cheap ass, let me go and send them $20. Girl, what you think them people about to do with them $20, Chilli? You decided to put your career online to get Trump $20? You don't want no scrub. Only scrubbing you gonna be doing is scrubbing the bathroom toilets at that tour, because they about to kick you off that tour. You messing up their concert ticket sales. Don't nobody want to get their money to you, so you going to give it back to Trump. You ain't giving but $5 no way. And it's crazy because I remember how hard Chilli was going against R. Kelly from all the stuff that he did, but you support Trump. And for you to post that about Michelle Obama, Chilli, that was low down. What about your friend? Will they stand their ground, or will they let you down? Yeah. What about your friend? What about your friend? Are they gonna be around, or will they turn it back on you? Goddamn Judas.
Hello everyone, this is Zoe and I'm back with another video, and today I wanted to talk about the singer Chilli from TLC. Some of y'all probably already heard that she's facing backlash for being a part of the Maga tribe. It's been said by TMZ that she donated to Trump, and it's been said that she reposted something about Michelle Obama being a man or something, and she said that it was a mistake and she didn't mean it, and she basically unreposted the video because she said she didn't know that she reposted the video, and so she decided to get rid of it afterwards. But some of y'all probably already heard. I just want to say that I'm not a fan of Trump either. I didn't vote for him, and I didn't want him in office. And I know that the reason why Chilli is facing a lot of backlash now is because a lot of black people do not care for Trump.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down, and I would never post anything like that. I would never do something like that. That is not my character. I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs, voted twice for him, and supported the organization that Michelle had in the schools for exercise for the kids. I would never do anything that's harmful or hateful to anybody. I'm just not wired like that. That's just not who I am. And when it comes to organizations that I have donated to, these are the things that support the veterans. I have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new. So I just wanted to let you guys know, this from me, that I would never do anything so disrespectful, and I would just never, I'm just not about hate or anything like that. If you look on my page and see my posts, it's all about love, faith, and connection. That's what I'm all about, and I've always been that way, and I will continue to be just that way. So I just want to thank you guys for, your love and your support, and just taking the time to listen to me right now. I really, really appreciate that, and I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Really, when I first heard this, I said I don't know if it's true or not. And if it is true, it's not really shocking, because most black celebrities that I've seen have voted for Trump. And it's understandable because most rich people are Republican, You know, I mean, I feel like most rich people, especially rich black people, they voted for Trump because, you know, they're trying to keep their money. So it wasn't really shocking. But I say that it was shocking because I didn't think that Chilli would be one of them. And a lot of people said that, you know, Chilli's from Atlanta, and a lot of people from Atlanta are conservatives. And I didn't know that. But my thing is, if people want to cancel Chilli, then, you know, they can do that. A lot of people saying that they are no longer going to see them on tour, TLC, and it was Salt and Pepper, and I don't know who else was on this tour. But they're saying they're keeping their coins. They say, yes, Chilli has a right to vote for whoever she wants, but, you know, we also have a right to not go see her in concert. And a lot of people was also unhappy because Salt from Salt and Pepper had came out and defended Chilli. In my opinion, that I don't have a problem with people canceling Chilli, but I do have a problem with them canceling only black women. Like, first it was Chrisette Michele, now it's Chilli. And I noticed that in the black community that a lot of people are harder on black women. And in my opinion, that Chilli, to me, she's not really a black woman. I consider her mixed, but I know a lot of people see her as black. And I think a lot of black people have been, you know, riding her tail because she had said something about not being chocolate. Because somebody was on her post. It was her and her boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend, Matthew Lawrence, were like dancing in the video. And somebody responded by saying, "Oh, Matthew got him a chocolate girl." And she said, "Oh, I'm caramel." And people saw her comment and they got offended, and somebody replied by saying, "Right, it's almost like she didn't like being called chocolate, but she is chocolate, and chocolate is beautiful. Never be ashamed of that." Chilli responded by saying, "Chocolate is beautiful also. Never said it wasn't. But without a tan, I'm caramel. What's the harm in being truthful? Good grief." And so she basically saying that she's not chocolate, she caramel. And a lot of people are saying that she is colorist, and people are saying that she always been chocolate. She was literally like the darkest one in TLC. Left Eye and T-Boz were more, you know, caramel than she was. A lot of people, you know, they hating on Chilli now, but I remember back in the day that people were obsessed with Chilli. And really, even though Chilli was the darkest one, I feel like a lot of people, and especially men, found her attractive because of texturism. You know, I feel like people, a lot of black people were saying, "Oh, she's so pretty and she has so-called good hair." And I would like to say that all hair is good hair, but that's just the language that black people like to use, good hair. And I feel like even though Chilli was the darkest one, she still benefit from texturism. Like, she kind of reminded me of Tatiana Ali from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She was you know, a dark-skinned biracial woman, and she had, you know, the 3B hair texture. And a lot of people like, a lot of men were trying to call her light skin and red bone, and I'm like, no, she chocolate, she dark, she just has 3B hair. and I never understood why they were trying to make Tatiana Ali light skin, because she never was. But yeah, a lot of people had something to say because Chilli didn't want to be called chocolate. To me, Chilli has always been biracial. I never really saw her as a black woman. A lot of people say, "Oh, she's not black." Her like a little clip of her dad, and he looked like he could be biracial. You know, he looks like he could be half black, half Indian or something. I don't know if he's fully Indian. Like, there's a lot of dark skinned Indian people, so he could be Indian or something, or everybody don't know. But to me, he looks mixed, and I know that in the Caribbean, you know, that mix is very popular. Black and Indian, I don't really remember what they call it, but it's popular in Trinidad, and it's popular in Guyana, Jamaica, and all through the Caribbean. But if her father is biracial and her mother is black, then technically she's majority black. But if she has a South Asian father or Arab father while having a black American mother, then she is what she is, biracial. And it's not shocking because I know there are some biracials who like to call themselves black, and there are some biracials who prefer to distance themselves from black people and say that they are mixed. And I don't have a problem with mixed people saying that they're biracial, because they are, you know, they're not just black. But yeah, they basically bringing up that, and now, you know, people are exposing her for being MAGA. And I don't know how they found out, you know, she voted for Trump, but somebody pulled up the receipts, and it's been going viral. I've been seeing it everywhere all week. And some people are defending her, saying that, you know, if she did repost that video about Michelle Obama, and people are saying there's a possibility that it was a mistake. But people are now saying, oh, she only wanted to make a video about the Michelle Obama thing, but she didn't make a video about not accidentally, you know, voting for Trump. And she did put I did see a post from her saying that she accidentally you know, donated to Trump, and that she thought it was for veterans. So yeah, she's trying to cover you know, she's trying to, you know, speak out and cover her bases, but a lot of people don't believe her, and they said that they are not coming to her concert with Salt and Pepper. And like I said, people have a right to not come to a concert. Really, for me, I don't care. I don't go to concerts, and I don't buy albums. I don't stream. I prefer to keep all my money in my pockets, because a lot of celebrities are just so ugh. And so if a celebrity comes out racist, sexist, colorist, xenophobic, you know, I'll be alright because I never supported them in the first place, you know. And like I said, she been chocolate all her life. But I said that when a black woman dates outside her race, she usually gets called chocolate. You know, a white man with a chocolate woman. That's usually like a eternal endearment to some people. I know in the black community it's a little different. Like some might say if you dark skin or dark brown, they'll call you a chocolate girl. If you're light skinned, they'll refer to you as red bone. You know, but most people don't really use the term caramel like that. You know, it's mostly chocolate. They're talking about light skinned woman is red bone. But the second reason why a lot of people are mad at Chilli now is because they found out that she's a Trump supporter, and she came out and said that she accidentally donated to Trump. She said she thought it was for veterans or something like that, and then she had made a video talking about how she would never disrespect Michelle Obama. And like I said, if she wants to vote Trump, then that's her business, not mine. But at the same time, if you're going to cancel people, then yes, I agree that you should cancel everybody. And I made a post, I think about 2 years ago when Trump had got back in office. I believe Nelly, Snoop Dogg, and no telling who else had came to his inauguration and performed there. And I think like Carrie Underwood, she was like the only girl, but most of them were dudes that came to the event. On Threads, and I seen this post from The Queen Speaks. She said Snoop and Nelly will be fine. Black people are very forgiving to harmful black men. Lots of y'all still stepping in the name of love. And over the years, I have noticed that a lot of black people, especially black women, they love to forgive black men, but not black women. And it reminds me of 2016 when Michelle had performed at Trump's inauguration. Michelle had got backlash for that, and she got canceled. And you know, she wasn't the only one that attended. It was also a gospel singer. I think his name was Travis Green. He also attended Trump's inauguration back then, but nobody was talking about him. Everybody was only talking about Michelle. And here we are, almost a decade later, and I've seen a bunch of black men who performed at at Trump's inauguration this time. And you know, a lot of people are shocked that Snoop, Nelly, and others decided to perform. And you know, even I was surprised by Carrie Underwood, because you know I'm a fan of Carrie Underwood. I've been a fan since I was a little girl, and it's just disappointing seeing that she's the only woman that decided to perform. But yes, I was hoping that, you know, black people would cancel Snoop and Nelly like they did Michelle, but it was probably not going to happen. But please tell me what your thoughts are about this. People are only canceling certain people, and somebody on Threads had came out and said, I cancel all of them with no problem. Nick Cannon, Chilli, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Kanye West, Chrisette Michelle, Nicki Minaj, Sexy Red, Soulja Boy, Rick Ross, Amber Rose, and who got next? And so at least Brooklyn Diva is being fair, but somebody made a post saying, I get the backlash for Chilli, but black women who support MAGA get way more hate than black men. We still have Snoop Dogg as an ambassador for the Olympics. Houseway, Waka Flocka performing at Birthday Bash. Everyone should be held to the same level of accountability. I agree. And then people were saying we didn't hire him for the Olympics. Someone else commented by saying the Olympics are paid for by white folks. Snoop got his money from them, not us. I don't support Snoop, Nelly, Walker, etc. You cannot worry about if other people support them. They don't get my money. I can only control me. And then there was a man on Twitter, the Neighborhood Talk, reposted this, and he was saying his name is Jordan Sumble. He said, we all remember what happened with Chrisette Michelle, even after she apologized for that performance. Kanye, Snoop, Nelly, and other black male MAGA have yet to receive the same treatment, and I need us to do better. He also said, I really need the same smoke Chilli is receiving to also be directed at Nick Cannon and Usher's dumb age. Problematic black women are always disproportionately held accountable more than problematic black men of misogynoir. And he's right, and I'm glad that it was a black man that said it, and I'd rather a black man say this than a black woman, because when black women, when we say it, we usually are ignored, or we get called we're being too dramatic, you know. And there have been black women here on YouTube who have been saying this for years, and it fell on deaf ears. Nobody cared. And that's why I said that, you know, when black women say it, no one cares. But then when a black man say it, then everybody seems to agree. And that's why I said I'm glad that Jordan said it, because somebody needs to say the quiet part out loud. And like I said, it's fine if people want to cancel Chilli. Just cancel everybody who's MAGA. Because they had made a whole list. So they have a whole list. I don't know who else is MAGA, but I was hurt when I found out that Nelly and Snoop Dogg performed at the Trump's inauguration. But when Chrisette tried to do it and she apologized, people still cancel her, and that's not fair. And I did, like I said, I did a video about it, and I just want people to hold both black men and black women, you know, to the same standard. That's all, because it's not fair. Because people, they seem to have all the smoke for Chilli, but not the black male MAGA supporters. But that's all I have to say for this topic. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.